Thank you, Mr. Chair. The U.S. Secret Service investigates a variety of cyber-related criminal activities, including the illicit use of digital assets through its global network of 44 cyber fraud task forces. Significant aspects of this illicit activity involve unlicensed money transmitting businesses, the illicit structuring of transactions, and other criminal activity against organizations that are not federally insured financial institutions. Some of those are financial institutions as defined by the Bank Secrecy Act. 2 weeks ago, I was proud to introduce Combating Money Laundering and Cybercrime Act, along with a number of my colleagues in bipartisan, Mr. Meeks, Mr. Nunn, Ms. Dean, to harmonize criminal and banking statutes and clarify the Secret Service's investigative authority over crimes related to the illicit digital asset transactions. Could you both briefly touch on the important role of the Secret Service in fighting illicit transactions as well as the FinCEN exchanges?
I would just note Secret Service obviously is a critical partner and particularly critical, I think, in terms of the technical exchanges and the leadership, which I believe your bill touches on in the context of the IMF's work with the FATF in creating AML and CFT standards that are consistent internationally. So very happy to work with you on the bill.
Very good.
And thank you, Representative Fitzgerald. I just want to note, I think an important aspect of that bill, too, if I'm correct, is a renewal of the FinCEN exchange program, which is an important way. So just want to call that out and thank you for that. And just to touch briefly on our partnership with the Secret Service, I can tick off three things that they're an incredible partner for us. First, we run a rapid response program where we work internationally to ensure that proceeds of fraud are able to be recovered through international means, and the Secret Service is critical to that effort in our rapid response program. We also frequently bring them in on FinCEN exchanges. They're a valuable partner to offer their law enforcement expertise with private actors like financial institutions to ensure that we are highlighting financial risks and giving financial institutions the information they need to make sure that they are looking at financial crime in a way that actually serves law enforcement. And then finally, we have been very lucky to have a strong investigative partnership with the Secret Service, specifically, as you note, their expertise in digital currency. We have worked very closely with them. They have leveraged our research and analysis to provide insights into some of their investigative targets.
Okay, one other topic I just wanted to cover quickly. In a recent response to Senator Tim Scott, the Treasury Department confirmed terms like MAGA and Trump were included in the push by federal investigators for banks to surveil private financial transactions following the January 6, 2021 protests at the Capitol. The letter states that the Bank Secrecy Act requires that a bank or other financial institutions file a suspicious activity report whenever it identifies a suspicious transaction relevant to a possible violation of law or regulation. If that's an accurate interpretation of BSA, that would suggest that if a bank suspected I was speeding, that they could somehow flag a gas station purchase. The Office of Management and Budget has estimated total BSA/AML costs are between $5 billion and $8 billion per year, while the FBI's money laundering conviction numbers suggest a per conviction cost between $107 and $178 million. This is not a highly inefficient system, but also highly intrusive into the privacy of citizens. Who decides what's suspicious enough to warrant this suspicious activity report? Ms. Gacke.
Thank you, Representative Fitzgerald. And I could offer some of what I have learned, not having been at FinCEN at this time, but looking back at what may have happened. FinCEN exchanges surrounding the events of the violent attack on the Capitol on January 6th and in anticipation of potentially more violence at the inauguration were pulled together with financial institutions and law enforcement to share expertise as to how to look for indicators of violence, and primarily violence, using violent terms that may be associated with political events. The ultimate responsibility to determine whether or not an action is suspicious and to file that report remains with financial institutions. The exchanges that were organized at this time were information sharing mechanisms, and FinCEN does not suggest that reporting based on constitutional rights is an indicator for suspicious activity.
Gentleman's time's expired. Gentlewoman from California.